They tried to throw her out of a VIP party because they thought she didn't belong there. But what they didn't know was that she controlled a $2.9 billion deal. The guard grabbed her arm. People started recording, and within seconds, the entire room went silent. One man rushed in and said, "Take your hands off her." And then everything changed, because the woman they just humiliated was the only person who could approve the money. And by the next morning, the deal was gone. The security guard had just tightened his grip on my arm when a voice cut through the noise behind us. "Let her go. Now." It wasn't loud, but it didn't need to be. The kind of voice that doesn't ask twice. The guard froze. Every conversation at the table died instantly. Heads turned. Phones lifted higher. A man was already moving toward us from the VIP section, fast, focused. Daniel Mercer, Aurora Dynamics head of investor relations. And right behind him, Naomi Clark, the company's general counsel. Neither of them looked confused. They looked alarmed. Daniel's eyes went straight to the guard's hand on my arm. "Take your hands off her." No hesitation this time. The guard stepped back like he had made a very expensive mistake. Victoria crossed her arms, irritation still on her face. "She's sitting where she doesn't belong," she said. "We were just handling." "No," Daniel interrupted. His tone sharpened. "You're the one who doesn't understand what's happening." That landed hard. Around us, people were still recording. The ceiling cameras were still live. Daniel turned slightly, making sure everyone could hear. "Let me make this very clear." He pointed toward me. "This is Emma Reeves." My name didn't just echo, it settled. People looked down at the place card again. ER. Then, Daniel continued. "She represents High Crest Capital on this transaction." Silence. Not quiet. Silence. "In simple terms," he added, stepping closer, "she's the one who approves the capital release." A pause. Then the final blow. "If she says no, the $2.9 billion deal announced tonight doesn't exist." Someone dropped their phone. Victoria blinked. Monica took a step back. I adjusted my sleeve and met Victoria's eyes. "I told you," I said calmly. "You're making a very big mistake." This time, no one laughed. And for the first time, the entire room understood something terrifying. They hadn't just embarrassed a guest. They had challenged the one person standing between Aurora Dynamics and $2.9 billion. But the real damage hadn't even started yet, because someone far more powerful had just walked into the room. The music was still playing, but no one near table 3 could hear it anymore. Then a voice came from behind the crowd. "What's going on here?" People moved aside. Adrien Langford, CEO of Aurora Dynamics. He walked in expecting a celebration. Instead, he walked into silence. His eyes scanned the scene quickly. His wife, tense. Monica, quiet. Security guards backing away. Daniel and Naomi, standing still. Phones everywhere. Recording. Adrien stopped mid-step. "Can someone explain this?" No one answered, until Daniel did. Calm, clear, loud enough for every microphone. "Your wife just had security remove the person responsible for approving High Crest's capital." The air shifted. Adrien looked at me, then back at Daniel, and in that moment, he understood. This wasn't social. This was financial. And worse, it was public. Victoria tried to recover. "I thought she was just staff." "Victoria." Adrien didn't raise his voice, but it cut through everything. He turned toward me. For the first time, he actually studied my face. "Miss Reeves, I believe there's been a misunderstanding." I didn't respond. He adjusted his tone immediately. "Perhaps we should discuss this privately." Monica forced a smile. "Yes, exactly. Just a small mix-up." Naomi stepped forward. "This was recorded." 3 words. That changed everything. Adrien's eyes lifted. "Cameras, phones, live stream, archive, evidence." I spoke quietly. "I'm aware." He looked at me longer this time, and now he saw it. This wasn't a mistake. This was documentation. The kind investors remember. The kind lawyers use. The kind that can quietly destroy a deal before midnight. And what happened in the next room would decide whether $2.9 billion survived the night or disappeared by morning. The executive lounge was silent. No music, no cameras, just consequences. Inside, 4 people sat across from me. Adrien Langford, Daniel Mercer, Naomi Clark. and CFO Paul Chen. Victoria wasn't invited. Neither was Monica. That alone said enough. Adrien leaned forward. Miss Reeves, this was a misunderstanding. The word sounded weak the moment it left his mouth. Naomi didn't react. Neither did I. Misunderstandings don't involve security, I said. He looked down, carefully choosing his next words. My wife believed you were. He stopped, because whatever came next would make it worse. So I asked something else. Was the event being live streamed? Silence. Naomi answered, yes. She opened a file. Internal recording. Investor broadcast. Archived footage. I nodded, then opened my folder. There's a clause in our agreement, I said. Conduct integrity provision. Paul's expression changed. He remembered. He just never thought it would matter. It states, I continued, that any documented behavior by leadership that damages the transaction's reputation allows immediate withdrawal of capital. Paul flipped pages. Section 14, he whispered. Naomi leaned in. It doesn't require intent. She looked up. Only evidence. Adrien froze. Naomi finished the sentence for him. What happened downstairs qualifies. No one moved, because now, this wasn't opinion. It was contract. I closed the folder. This clause exists for moments exactly like this. And in that silence, they finally understood. The deal wasn't dead. Not yet. But it was standing on the edge. And the next decision wouldn't be made in that room. It would be made with one phone call. The hallway outside felt empty. Too quiet. Like the calm before something expensive breaks. I took out my phone and made one call. Samir Patel, managing partner. He answered immediately. Emma, I need to report an incident. I explained everything. No emotion, just facts. Security, public confrontation, cameras, silence. Then one question. Was it documented? I looked up at the hallway camera. Still recording. Yes. The line went quiet, but that was enough. Meanwhile, inside the meeting room, chaos had already started. Board members were being called, lawyers reviewing contracts, phones ringing nonstop. Because if that footage spread, this wouldn't stay in that ballroom. Adrien found me minutes later. We can fix this, he said. Just give us until morning. I looked at him. I'm not giving ultimatums, I said. I'm doing my job. Back on the call, Samir finally spoke. If the clause is triggered, a pause, we act. And by the next morning, Aurora Dynamics woke up to a reality no one in that room was prepared for. The email arrived early, short, cold, final. High Crest Capital withdraws its commitment. $2.9 billion. Gone. Paul Chen read it twice. Then again. Nothing changed. Phones exploded. Board members, banks, investors, all asking the same question. What happened? Inside the conference room, Adrien stood still. He knew it was possible, but seeing it happen was different. He called me. We can fix this, he said again. We can explain. It was recorded, I replied. Silence. Behind him, Paul walked in. It's gone. And worse, other investors were pulling back too. The structure was collapsing. Not delayed, not revised. Collapsed. Outside, markets reacted. Inside, the truth settled in. The deal didn't die because of numbers. It died because of behavior. Days later, people asked the same question. When did it actually end? When the guard grabbed my arm? When the cameras kept rolling? Or when no one thought to stop it? I returned to work. Same desk, same files, different story. Someone asked me about it. I shrugged. Power doesn't always walk in with a title, I said. Sometimes, it sits quietly and waits. Because in business, respect isn't optional. It's the price of entry. So tell me, when do you think the deal actually died?